Hey, what's up, you guys? You are watching or listening to The Creatives Conversation, brought to you by Helps2. I am Amber. I'm the brand manager here at Helps2, and this is...
your best friend, Gabriella Martay,
You're not
the
my best
owner.
friend.
I'm talking to them.
Okay.
Don't try to play
if
me.
you're going to say that,
Don't
I'm
try
not
to play
your best friend on the
owner.
podcast.
Let's get back to who I am. I'm just kidding. I've had too much coffee.
I'm just saying she's not my best
I
friend.
am the
because I'm not
owner
her best
and the
friend.
director. So it's a really nice place that we're in as Helps2 because I feel like I have a good team, but we're in a place of growth. And so I'm not doing a lot of the hands-on work right now.
Sure.
I'm pioneering.
Yeah.
So owner
You're
and
being CEO,
director.
doing
yeah,
CEO
out here
stuff.
pioneering.
Right.
I used to do all the work by myself and then
And
You
then I
came
came
along.
along, and now I do all the dirty work.
and you're not my best
welcome.
friend.
That's okay.
I'm just kidding. I think you're one of my faves.
Yeah.
If you've seen past episodes, we had a whole beef about this. Maybe we should do a song about this.
A song? We're writing a song now? Anyways, so.
Yeah, we did a song with J-Rob's period. I don't know
yeah?
how we should release that. So J-Rob came on the show,
my
y'all.
gosh,
You don't even know what this
so
show's
random.
about.
I know.
But you will in a second. J-Rob was a guest on our show. Jeremy Robinson, amazing. But he says period all the time.
He does.
Period.
That's his thing.
Period. And we took that out of the conversation. We sent it to a producer that I know, and it's a whole song now. So
It really is. The
watch
beat
yourself.
drops and everything. It's
yeah.
wild.
Period. 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 Anyways, tell them what we're talking about today.
Anyways,
They're tired
so
of us.
today we are talking about social media. Is it good, godly, or satanic?
I gotta go. Okay, security. I need a flight right now. I gotta go.
People need to know.
I'm
Okay, so for real, we're talking about is
No
social media
words.
good or bad?
Yeah,
But we were talking before we rolled, and she told me I should say that. So
I thought it was funny.
it is kind of funny.
but I think people are gonna come for us. But you know what?
I mean,
at
people
least
genuinely out there do think it's satanic. So.
that's true. And I will say, at least people know when they're watching the Creatives Conversation that they're gonna get good information, but we're gonna have a good time.
Oh yeah,
We're not gonna be here
we're gonna be
bored.
stiff.
No,
That's
yeah,
boring.
Stiff.
No.
Not a stiff bone in my body.
I don't know what she's saying. Anyways, half the time. So if you're confused, comment below because I'm confused
If
too.
you're confused, comment below. Don't comment below.
Comment below.
Don't you dare.
I need to know I'm not alone.
You know what y'all could do though? There's a video I put out. What is it called? How I got 100,000 listens on Spotify or something like that.
Yeah. Streams.
Man, the
on
hate
Spotify.
on that video is so
It's
real.
still coming.
If
We
y'all
still
want to
get
do
comments.
a favor, I know. Someone said this is the worst 7 minutes of my life.
Yeah, I just wasted 7 minutes of my life.
I love comments like that because listen, it just cracks me up because I want to be so sassy, but then you tell me not to be sassy.
Yeah, sometimes
I need
hold
to
her
stay out
back.
the comments.
Sometimes I tell her to go for it though. Like sometimes
It's not
I'm
my
like, yeah,
fault
why
that you
not?
spent 7 minutes and you don't have
Right, you could have paused the video
mental
1 minute in.
energy to decipher at minute 2 that this
Yeah,
is not good for
boy,
you.
bye. Like,
Yeah.
listen, it's not my fault you didn't stop the video and realize I don't like this and move on. Like
Yeah,
the rest of
there's
us.
a billion videos plus on YouTube, and you're gonna
Right.
just waste 7 minutes. Clearly,
And then
you like
another
something
minute
about it.
to comment, to come up with your snarky remark. Like,
Yeah, if
here
I don't
we
like a
are.
video, I'm out by minute 2. Like,
Right. No,
and
for
I'm
real.
not leaving a comment. I'm going on to the
Yeah.
next thing. That's how
Right.
YouTube works. Anyways,
Anyways,
but if y'all want to do a favor, don't comment on this video. Go comment on that video, and just kill them with
put
kindness.
a card in there.
Yeah, put a card, and then Cash App us. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. Well,
You know, we are getting into sponsorships though, and I'm
Yeah.
excited about that. We were just talking about that before we started airing this.
Yeah.
And if you're a business, small business entrepreneur, whatever, and you want to get some ad space on a nice podcast conversation,
listen, this video is sponsored by Brazilian Coffee because
Hello.
we are out here surviving with this right here. Thank you, Andre.
cheers.
And this podcast is also brought to you by Spindrift because I feel like every time we do one of these, except this time, you're drinking
Spindrift, I'm not affiliated with
So-
this. So if y'all want to sue, you can sue Amber Huffman. I'm just kidding. I know where she lives because she lives with me right now. So if you want her address, just email me. I'm just kidding. I do love
But
Spindrift,
I'm just
though.
saying, Spindrift, if you're watching this, Gabby drinks your beverage a lot on this show and always talks about how much she loves it. So
I do,
If y'all are trying to
because-
sponsor us,
Just real talk. Can I keep it a whole buck?
here it comes.
Shout out
she
Sierra
said a whole
Britton.
buck again.
Giving me my good lingo.
Don't tell her new things, Sierra. This is what happens.
Listen. Spindrift has its sparkling water
I know
with
what it is.
all natural ingredients. Okay, let's
This
just
is
be
for real a
a whole
paid ad.
buck right now. Okay?
She's saying a whole buck again.
'Cause
Comment
I'm being
below
a whole
if you
buck.
think she's crazy.
I just want to say LaCroix is like cute at a party. When I'm thirsty and desperate, I will drink LaCroix.
Desperate and
Yeah,
thirsty.
because
Dang. Who
I
else
don't
has said
know-
that about? I'm just kidding. Desperate and thirsty, huh?
Those words get used in so many different other contexts.
We're not gonna talk about desperate and thirsty on this show.
I'm talking about real thirst. Like, I need water.
Real
and
thirst.
so I will drink a LaCroix, but I just know that I don't really know what's in LaCroix. The whole concept of natural flavors, which my nutrition master's friend, or PhD, my friend with a PhD in nutrition, she commented on one of my rants about natural flavors and kind of set me straight. So you don't have to come for me. I know what's in the natural flavors. I know it might not be as horrible as I think it is. But just the fact that you have to put natural flavors and can't tell me what the natural flavors are, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Y'all can have it.
Yeah. If y'all can't name out the ingredients you're putting in my food, in my drinks, then
y'all can have it.
You can miss me with
I'll be
it.
over here with my little spindrift, with my blackberry puree.
That's the one you always get. She's always got the blackberry one too.
Or the grapefruit.
That's true.
It's so good.
Yeah. But anyways, so Spindrift for real.
And
if
they
you
got
want
strawberry
to sponsor
now.
us.
Come on. We'll send this to them.
Yeah, for real.
Okay. It would be so dope if they sponsored us. I'd be wearing Spindrift t-shirts. You see me with Spindrift shoes. I'd be like, look at my shoes. They're Spindrift.
Oh my gosh. Put your feet on the floor. Thank you very much. She's wilding out, y'all. She's about to knock over the table.
Spindrift shoes right here. Y'all ready? Right here.
Wilding.
By the way, I'm sorry, y'all, but these are new Vans.
They got some little dust on them. But,
I know they're like, I'm walking on Andre's carpets. I feel so bad.
True. Well.
Anyways, let's get down to business. I know y'all did not come to look at my clothes.
We have a podcast to actually do here, but here we are.
I know. I'm sorry. It's a coffee. It's been a long day.
That's real.
Coffee.
It's been a really long day.
I got up at 5:30 a.m. Actually, 5. Got to the gym by 5:35.
That's next level.
5 minutes late for my class, but I was there.
You made it. That's what matters. Yeah. So listen. So we're here. I don't know what time it is now, but we're ready. Let's do this thing. 7:30.
7:30 at night. Here we are.
Let's do it. So we're talking about whether or not social media is good or evil or bad, I guess. But
good or bad? Like, what is it?
Yeah, I think a lot of people look at it and only see it black and white. Like, it's either good or it's either bad. Like, we don't really look at both sides. And so I kind of want to talk about that and just see what your take is as someone who, you're a social media user for one thing, and you're also you use it for your marketing for yourself and for clients, and so do I for clients. And so I wanted to see your first take, when you think about social media, good or bad.
Man, that's a hard question, because I think the nerd in me knows so much more about social media than I think the average person.
That's fair.
And I'm also I've been in marketing for 10 plus years now.
Right.
And I've also seen so many opportunities open up for me on social media as a musician, a marketer, a human being, reconnecting with friends. Mm-hmm. And so, I have stories for days. And a lot of those stories are in our book that just came out called We Don't Need Another Marketing Book. Mm-hmm. Because those stories shaped the foundation of how I see social media. Mm-hmm. So, and I've actually answered this question when I did a conference talk down in Nashville at this thing called The Objective. And so, long story short, I think a lot of people think it's bad, especially creatives. They'll be like, I feel like I have to do things a certain way to fit in and all that.
It's inauthentic.
Yeah.
And draining.
And I don't want to share about my political views. I just want to do my music or my art or whatever. And I get that. If you
don't want to share about your political views or see other people's political views, stay off Facebook.
Yeah, and now's not the time to be on Facebook.
That's all it is anymore. Everyone's like, I hate masks. I love masks. I hate quarantine. I love quarantine. I'm voting for this person. I'm voting for this person.
It's fascinating if you're bored.
I suppose.
I think if you just rewind though, I think social media is a tool. Mm-hmm. And how you use that tool is up to you. And how you let that tool infiltrate your life is up to you. And so if you are on Facebook all the time and you feel like the world is so negative because what you read on Facebook all the time, whose fault is that? It's your fault.
Right.
And so, I'm not chilling on Facebook like that. But I will say the way I use social media, we use it for our clients, But personally, I like to promote and reach people with my music. I'm like, what do I say here? I like to reach people with my music. And with what we're doing here, it helps too. And so I'll just say it has been incredible, the opportunities that I've gotten from I don't even have right now I don't have 100,000 followers. Maybe combined, but on all platforms. Sure. But you know, like on Instagram, I have a solid 10K, like,
I think it's 11, but
something like that, you know,
yeah.
It is what it is. And then YouTube, I just hit 5,000 subscribers. Woo-hoo. It's crazy because I think a lot of people really think to themselves, I need to be 100,000 plus to start getting good opportunities. And it's just not true.
Yeah.
If you know how to manipulate the tool and like use it to your advantage. And so, I mean, just the first example that comes to my mind, I won like a talent contest in LA. I'm from California originally. Not LA, I'm from NorCal, but even still, I was, I was in Costa Rica on like a service trip. My cousin sent me this thing. It was called the Labor Day Music Festival. And the winner, actually the top 10, there's 1,000 bands in this competition, musicians, bands, whatever, fighting for the top 10 slots, and people had to vote. And the first top 10 would get to be a part of the festival. And like the number one winner would open for Snoop Dogg. And so, I mean, technically everyone opened for Snoop Dogg, really, because he was the last, you know, so you're like opening. And there were like Los Lonely Boys, Poncho Sanchez, like all these people that are like well known. And like the R&B soul community, of course, Snoop Dogg is known in like almost every community. But yeah, so.
Even I know who Snoop Dogg is.
You know, yeah, I'm proud of you because we just did a podcast and she's like, I don't know who Shaquille O'Neal is. I don't know Serena Williams. I'm like,
these are athletes though. Listen, I never played sports a day in my life. I did ballet.
Y'all pray for her, but I'm going to leave that alone because we already exploited how horrible that is and how she is a. Just gonna
let's move on. That was good.
I was gonna say some mean things, but I love her, so I'm not gonna do that. But I think I used social media to my advantage in that situation. And I ran a Facebook ad for $90. And I went from being the 11th spot, because I already had somewhat of a following. So people were voting like crazy, like, this is a great opportunity, Martay. That's my musician name, my middle name. And they're like, we want to see you do it. And so I was like, yeah. And then this girl came up to me at church one day on a Sunday and was like, yo, she like literally like grabbed me by the collar. She's like, come down to my level. She was like, if you do not message every person that you know right now to win this competition, you are stupid. Because she saw me in 11. I kept going from 10 to 11, 10 to 11. So she's like, it's going to end in a day. If you do not, you're stupid.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't want to message every person. I probably did have the time. I was like, but I can run an ad. Like, I know how to do that. And so I ran an ad of like what the stadium would look like that we're playing in if it was filled. And I said, hey guys, I have the opportunity to open for Snoop Dogg. Please vote. And I put the link to vote in the ad. And it like went viral. Like I went from, I think like we were fighting within like the thousands. Like I had like 1,012 points.
Lead?
Yeah. Well, that's where we were.
Oh, okay.
And then when I ran this ad and there's 14 hours left in the competition, I like went way beyond 2,000 points. Like I had 1,000 vote lead.
Wow.
I went from like kind of being on the cusp of like 10 versus 11, flipping in and out of the top 10, and you want to be in the top 10 when it ends.
Right.
So I'm taking this huge risk, and then all of a sudden I was number one, and people were like, yo, where did this chick come from? And so I got to open for Snoop Dogg. Super cool opportunity, and like, yeah, like
and that came
just
from
like
social
a
media.
crowd of like 4,000 or 5,000 people in the middle of LA.
Wow.
Like, yeah, I got off like an airplane. I did a show in Washington and literally flew to LA. My mom met me there and then drove me home like in like a weekend. It was crazy.
Wow.
So yeah, that's social media. I mean, I've stayed at people's houses like Nada and all the Escobar family that we are friends in Dallas. I met her on Facebook.
Yeah.
She hit me up. She heard my song on the radio in like Dallas, which is so random. I didn't know they were playing my music down there. And she described it and I said, yeah, that is totally my song. Because I was like, are you sure that they're playing my song? Because like indie artists don't get a lot of radio play.
That's true.
And she described it. I said, yeah, it's for sure my song. Because it had laughing in the beginning. And like, what songs have laughter in the beginning? Like,
true. That's
none.
pretty rare.
I've never really heard a song like that. So I was like, yeah, it's for sure my song. And she was like, one day you should come. And then she brought me and some other people in on a tour and we slept in their house. Like they gave us their son's beds.
Yeah.
And then you went on a tour with me like what, 2-3 years later.
Right.
You got to meet them and chill with them. Like we're cool with each other because of, you know, Facebook.
Meeting on social media. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's the positive about it. You can meet incredible people. Mm-hmm. Some of my best friends hit me up on Instagram out of nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I know you have one friend. Can I say names?
Yeah, Jess White. Yeah, Jess White. Like that's my homie. Like, we roll together. I'm telling
y'all, whenever people ask Gabby, like, how'd y'all meet? It's like, always Instagram.
We met on Instagram.
We met through Instagram.
She hit me up. She was like, yo, like, I like your music. I'm coming through town. Do you have some time? And I said, yeah. I'm always like, public place. You know, like,
right.
Don't get killed out here.
You don't know somebody.
My mom's a cop, so I'm like, please don't get killed. But like, And so I met up with her and like her son, super cool people. And like, she's helped me through some like tough times. And like, been such a great friend and sister. Awesome. And like, it's been dope.
And now I've met her too.
Yeah, you got to chill with her. Yeah. And like, so I just think it's, if you are open and willing to use it, you know, to its benefits, you could do great. Like, and so it's been cool. It's been really cool. I could go on forever. Like forever. Like, one more story and then I'm done, and then we could talk about the negatives. But I was in New Jersey, in the middle of nowhere. Like, I think it's called like Sicklerville, New Jersey. I'm sorry if y'all are from Sicklerville. I'm so sorry, but like, it really is in the middle of nowhere to me. But nothing. You know, it's okay. It's not that it's nothing. It's just in the middle of nowhere. Like, there's nothing really around it. And so we did a show out there. Someone brought us out. Super gracious to be there and grateful. But legitimately, not a lot of people were invited, and that happens sometimes when you do shows. And so I went on Twitter, which I felt like at the time was like a black hole of nothingness.
Right.
And I posted the show. I'm like, we're doing a show at like 7:30 or whatever, or 5 p.m. I don't know. It's so long ago. But I did it in the morning, and I put the address, and I said, come out if you want to. Like, and I'm thinking it was like tossing $50 into a black hole and being like, see you later. Hopefully somebody will find it. And you're like, probably won't happen.
Yeah.
So this girl showed up, named B, and she was like, yo, I saw your, literally, okay, so this is how it happened. I was downstairs in the green room with some other bands that I was touring with, and they come up to me. I'm eating like this plate of fried chicken, not to be stereotypical, but I'm eating this plate of fried chicken, and they go, Martay, yo, somebody's here for you. And I said, nobody.
Surely not.
Is here for me. Let me tell you, I'm from the West Coast. Ain't nobody here for me. Okay. And, these indie artist days. Oh my gosh. And then no joke, they brought her downstairs and she was like, I saw your tweet and
how
I've been following you for a while. And I said, oh, I was like, oh, I gotta be careful when I post on social media because people are really watching and I don't know who's watching. And no joke, she was so blessed. So this girl, amazing story. This girl had cancer of the lymph nodes, lymphoma, 23.
Wow.
A really great soccer player. She was told by doctors that she was only going to live for like another like 9 months. And she's here and she's going through the hardest time of her life. And this is why I love doing what I do musically and artistically. And even with helps too. Whenever you reach people, it's such a unique opportunity. So B is here and this one band goes up and like we would tour and we'd always give someone like we'd call it the ministry slot, which is like this time that you just like pour out your heart and like share a story and like really just like tell people it's gonna be okay or like whatever you feel led to. So this band gets up there, I'll never forget it, and this girl that wasn't really outspoken, the lead singer of the band, the front man, they're singing Don't Stop Believin'. Don't stop believing. And then, no joke, she points to B, has no idea what she's going. None of us do. We don't know what she's going through. She goes, God has plans for you. And she goes to this other person, and you. And then she points to B, and you. And then B is like, what? Like, she didn't know what she's getting into. And she just starts crying.
Aww.
And no joke, she comes up to us later and she's like, yo, I have lymphoma, all this stuff. Like, I am so encouraged and touched today. She's like, I work at Six Flags. I'd love to take all of you to Six Flags. And, like, I'll get you all in for free. So the next day, we went to Six Flags for free.
What?
And I was like, you know what? This is all God. But at the same time, the tool that was used to make all that happen, social media.
Yeah.
And so, I think that's the benefit of social media. That's why I use it, and I just keep going, even though I feel like, if I'm being honest, like, I used to love Instagram. Right now, Instagram is just, like, not my friend.
Favorite? Yeah.
Like, I just feel like the way they have structured it, and they're moving it to according to the guy up top or whatever he is. They're trying to change it into a video platform. I mean, it just makes it really difficult to use and to reach the people that actually even follow you. So I'm not the biggest fan.
I remember the day, I will always talk about this. I remember the day when Instagram, first of all, only allowed you to post photos.
Yeah.
And second of all, it was your feed came out in order of like when things were posted. So if you posted at 9:00 in the morning, people who are looking at Instagram at 9:00 in the morning would see your post. It would be the first one up. And like now it's like the algorithm is so complicated. Like sometimes you don't even see the people you follow. You don't see their posts at all.
No, I know.
And I'm just like, I don't understand. Like I used to get so many likes and so many comments and like people actually engaging, and now it's like nothing.
Yeah, and you know what, to be honest, like if we're being real, like video is very difficult to make on a consistent basis and be good at it. Like it takes some like, and these young people that are doing it, and older people, I see moms out here crushing it on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
lots of people
I'm like, wow, like you have some tenacity. I mean, I know how to do it.
Right.
I love video.
Right.
I'm at a media company. Like, but like as an individual with a life, like that's dedication. You're posting a video every day, at least one.
And some people don't even like video. Like, to be honest, I feel more like a photographer. Like, I love taking pictures. I love, like, the just one still of a moment. Like, this is the moment. This is what was happening. Like, I love that.
Right.
And I've never posted a single video on my, like, Instagram. I posted my stories, but never, like, on my Instagram feed. Because I just liked the original purpose of the app. I was like, this is a photo
No, we
app.
all did.
When it started, you couldn't post anything but photos. So it's like, what has it become? Like, it's just so...
I think, and that's the downfall of social media right now. Like, I think a lot of it has become about profit and profit sharing and like making these people that have invested, because Instagram is owned by Facebook and Facebook went public, so they have a lot of like shareholders, people who have invested in the company that they want to make sure they get a payout. So like the way they changed everything, I bet you money, I mean, I'm not in Facebook's meetings, but like has to do with making money. Like it's not monetizing. It's very apparent. So
it's obvious.
I think I get like almost more ads some days than I get like content that I want to see.
I remember like not even that long ago, they didn't have ads like in front of kind of like, you know, YouTube, you have to skip an ad if you don't have premium in order to get to the video you want to watch. So Instagram didn't have ads in front of the videos you were watching.
Now they do.
I go to watch a IGTV, so like a longer video.
Oh
and I have to watch an ad first, and I'm like, it's like a 2-minute video. You want me to sit here and watch an ad? Like that's
like 30 seconds.
Ridiculous.
No, you know what? And then I don't blame them for that. I just wish that. I don't know. I really enjoy, and I've seen other creators talk about this. I really enjoy YouTube.
Yeah.
At the same time, I will say, before we move on to different network, I will say being on Instagram is becoming, and this is my personal opinion, it is becoming more like, honestly, a LinkedIn. Like, it will become more like that if they continue to go down the path that they're going. And this is, you know, my own prediction, whatever. It could be wrong. But I really believe now people will only be on Instagram just to show their clout.
Right. To buy and sell things too. There's a lot of
that's true.
Shops on Instagram, so that's kind of like...
It'll become like an Etsy, a hybrid of like Etsy, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I really believe it because, and LinkedIn in the sense of I'm only on here so that like you can see my portfolio.
Right.
And my follower count because I'm an influencer.
And it's not about your life anymore. It's not about like...
And it's not about having fun anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, oh my gosh.
So you will for sure see me on Instagram because, you know what I mean? I'm more than my brand is on there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Our brands like helps too.
Martay on there. Mm-hmm.
So, and, but will I be using it personally? Probably not.
Much. Yeah. No, and I definitely see that. I also see how like social media as another downfall, it breeds comparison a lot.
Talk about that.
And so I think like a lot of times, you know, the reason we spend so many hours on these apps is because we want to see what other people are doing with their lives and see how we measure up. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I know myself, like, I do so much better when I just take a break from social media versus when I'm on it because, you know, I just get on these rabbit holes of, like, what's this person doing? What's this person doing? Right. You know, like, what's going on with them? Like, am I as good as them? And then I'll even, like, do this thing sometimes. It's totally weird. Maybe other people do it. I don't know. But I, like, flip back and forth between someone's profile and my own to see, like, if mine looks as good or whatever, you know? Just that comparison of, like, am I good enough? Like, am I doing this well? Like, is what I'm posting worth looking at? You know, all this stuff. And so, I don't know. It can be very unhealthy in that way. And I think especially for creatives, like, if you're using social media and you're using it to promote your art, you have to be really careful. Because you can see other artists out there and you're like, why are they making it? Like, I'm doing better than them. Or like I will never make it because I'm not as good as them or whatever. You know, those mindsets start to creep in when you're following a lot of people in your craft and your industry. And I think and I think it can be really detrimental. I think,
which is funny because like the reality is like numbers on an app. Like, even though I think we are wired to believe like numbers on an Instagram post or on a tweet, like how many retweets you got, whatever. I think we really believe that that signifies success and worth. Like, and we do attribute that to worth. Like, and even though we might not want to believe it, I think a lot of us do. And so the reality is though you could be broke though and have 1 million retweets.
That's
like
true.
We don't know people's life situations like at all.
Yeah, and I think, like, we've been conditioned that way from very early on because, you know, we go through grade school and we're given grades. Yeah. And it's like you feel like you're worth more or smarter because you got A's or whatever. But then, you know, when you're an adult, like, how are they going to evaluate you? Probably by how much money you make. But since we're kind of hush-hush about that, especially in the United States, I think that's, like, we don't talk about how much money we make to anyone, hardly. Right. So, like, if you're not going to talk about that or, like, you know, some people find ways to show it off without saying, like, I make this much per year. Like, you know, they own a whatever nice
they buy a certain car or wear certain
exactly.
shoes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're not into all that, like, one way to make yourself feel like, you know, you've got some worth and some clout or whatever is through social media. And, like, getting a lot of followers, a lot of likes, a lot of comments, you know, for women. I think a lot of it has to do with, like, you want attention for how you look sometimes. Not always, but I've just noticed, like, how
Which is
much...
not wrong. I think we're made to be beautiful creatures as women, especially. Absolutely. And so, like, if you desire that, I don't think the desire is wrong, but, like, maybe getting
the way you do it.
Beauty looks from social media.
Yeah. Getting, like, you know, feeling like you're good enough or like you're beautiful or whatever it is through social media is probably not the healthiest option.
Yeah. I mean, period. And I think another thing, my nerd mode is about to kick in, but the reality is the dopamine that's released from like just using the social apps.
They purposely make it so addictive.
Yeah, like you're basically at a casino. Like every message you get on your phone, all of that.
Yeah, you see the little light up like one notification on the app.
You're like, I gotta check it. I gotta
click it.
That's why I turn off notifications. I actually have a friend that made her screen black and white, which you can do on the iPhone. Yeah. So it's not colorful, it's not attractive. And I looked at it, I said, man, that looks so boring. Yeah. And so I think I kind of like it, but like without the black and white, but if you do need to like kind of come down off that high, like the color just attributes to like, this is fun. This is like,
right.
Yeah. And so if you kind of take that fun out of it. Yeah. And then the oxytocin. Have you heard of that?
I've not.
The oxytocin. So oxytocin is basically something your body releases when you hug someone. And it's like kind of like a hormone. They call it the love hormone. And so when you actually hug someone, you emit and produce oxytocin in your body. It's like, I think it's a hormone. And so long story short, they did a study on social media where they said they put someone in some kind of like MRI machine and they were like studying their vitals, and they let them receive tweets and send tweets, and every time they got one, they would just produce oxytocin. And so, it attributed to that feeling of like, I feel loved. I don't know if the people who like started Facebook and all that could even predict that would be a thing, but like it is a thing. And so a lot of people are finding their relationships and different things on social media, but like it's so like what do you want to like cheap, I want to say, like, and that's, I don't know if that's the right word for it, but like you getting oxytocin and dopamine hits from social media leaves you empty like within the next few hours,
and it confuses you from when something's real. Like the things that should be giving you dopamine hits that take a little more effort or a little more work in life, like exercising, will, because for social media it's an immediate, a quick dopamine hit every time you post, every time you get a like.
It's like a drug.
Yeah, exactly. It's a quick hit. And so whenever there's things that you actually need to work for to get those things, it makes you more resistant to that, and like it makes it harder to feel that good feeling that you're supposed to get during those things whenever you're just getting it all the time from social media.
Yeah. And so, I mean, we're making it sound like.
So now it sounds satanic.
Yeah, no, I know. Exactly.
Like we talked about in the beginning.
This is from the devil. No, I'm just kidding. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that you have to understand it. Mm-hmm. I think I'm a person of understanding. I'm a 4-wing 5 on the Enneagram. So like I love to get understanding.
Changed it. You've always said you're 4-wing 3.
I have 2 wings.
That's fair.
4-3, 4-5.
She's an even
I'm
wing.
both. I'm an even wing. I fly high and I soar with the even wings. But long story short, some of you didn't even get that. I went over your head, and that's fine.
That's fine. Go watch our Enneagram video.
Yeah, you'll be good. You'll get it. But long story short, if you get the understanding of it, you can position yourself to use it well. Mm-hmm. And so how I use social media well, I primarily get on it for my marketing of whatever brands I'm doing. But when I use it personally, I have cutoffs. Like, I'm not allowed to use it more than an hour every day.
Right.
And so, I really try not to use it before bed. Mm-hmm. And that's then, to be honest, like when I'm talking to people in person, my phone must go away. I flip it over. No, I'm not waiting for messages. Ooh. I'm here. I am focused.
Yeah.
And I've been called out about that in person. And so that changed my life when a friend was like, hey, you're not even present. Like,
I feel like maybe it's because I grew up, like, we always ate dinner together as a family. And it was like no distractions allowed. Like, it's just in me. Like, I do not look at my phone when I'm with other people unless we're straight chilling. Like, we're on the couch. It's your
6 hour together.
Yeah. Like, but, like, if we're hanging out, like, looking at the phone is so not okay for me. I'm just like, why do people think that's okay?
Yeah, it's disrespectful.
There's a real person in front of you. Like
I'm here and you're finding more,
exactly.
more presence there to
Definitely.
Be on the phone right now.
Yeah. And you sent me a video. This is, like, kind of you talked about not before bed. You sent me a video that has, like, really transformed my morning routine about how you should never check Instagram, like, first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Because your brain's in, like, what is that state called? It's a creative state.
It's like the learning state, right?
Yeah, something like that. So
it's like the in-between state. I don't know what that is called.
Yeah, it's like an in-between consciousness states where you're, like, still asleep, but kind of awake. Like, and when you go and check Instagram during that, like, I don't know. It's bad for you.
It rewires your brain.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it says to kind of not be able to focus.
Yeah.
To not be able to focus.
Right.
You know, kind of about it. And so I think a lot of people will, like, our generation more than ever, not just our generation, our society more than ever. Mm-hmm. Like, my own parents kind of have dealt with this, you know, more so, not my dad. He doesn't even know. My dad has never, like, Instagram is like, what is that?
Yeah.
But
my mom knows what TikTok is. I'm sorry,
really?
But that shocked me. I was like, Mom, you know what TikTok is? She doesn't have one, but
my dad has never even signed up for Facebook. So he, like, I mean, like, social media is not a thing for him. Like, I think he has, like, an AOL or Yahoo account. Like, that's it. That's as far as it goes for him. Yeah, like, Williams. Come on, like, revolt against the societal pressures of life. But long story short, I think we have to be conscious of the fact that we are rewiring our brains to not focus. Mm-hmm. And I loved what that video said. I'm so glad you watched it. I didn't know you watched it.
I watched the whole thing, and, like, for real, for the next week,
fascinating,
I was like, I'm not touching my phone until 30 minutes after.
Yeah. You know, like, I've come to a new thing where I'm like, I'm going to get out of the bed in the morning, get on my knees and pray. Yeah. My first, like, 2 to 5, 10, 20, how long it wants to go. I don't put a time on it. Mm-hmm. It's just going to be me
and Jesus.
Jesus for sure. But, like, and just, like, awareness of my environment without the bright phone light, without the messages. Mm-hmm. I don't sleep with my phone unless I, like, fell asleep with it. Like, I put it outside of the bed. Yeah. I turn it on sleep mode. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's still in the room, but, like, I'm not getting your messages. Like, after 9, my phone's in sleep mode, all on its own. I don't get any messages, calls. And, you know, there's always that fear. My mom goes, well, how are you going to know if somebody calls you? I said, listen, I have just woken up, like, divinely when I needed to answer phone calls. Like, it just happens. Yeah. It'll be fine.
And sometimes you sleep through phone calls. Yeah. So it can happen either way. Even if you don't put your phone on sleep mode, you still can sleep through it. But I'm not going to live. There was also a book called The Church of Facebook. I read it in college. And it's not about the church. It's written by a pastor, but it's about, like, how Facebook is, like, kind of a community of itself. When Facebook was, like, it still is the biggest social media platform in terms of, like, people on it. Users, but, like, but Facebook was, like,
the cheesy maneasy. It was like
the
TikTok of the day.
Right.
It was like the thing everybody was on and using. Yep. And like
back when they had games and stuff.
I know, it was
intense.
That's
why I joined.
It was
I
intense.
To play, like,
and
what was
so
it, Farmville or something.
I loved Facebook when it first came out. And I mean, it's all right. It's like
you didn't have now it's timeline. It used to be wall. It was like sharing things to your wall.
Yeah, you share things to your wall.
It was so different.
And like when statuses were like, you had to, it always had an is in front of it.
Yeah, because it was like
Gabby
it shows up
is. Yeah, and then you have to fill in the sentence, but now you can just like say whatever you want.
I know. Now you just rant about politics and
like
God knows
I have
what
a whole
else.
book for you. But he said in the Church of Facebook, this author said that when you have your phone on, even when you're sleeping, you're in a state of hyperconnectivity, meaning that like you're kind of still attached to everyone in the world. And so you sleep like that. You don't really go into deep sleep because you're hyper connected to like, because you know your phone is on subconsciously. You know your phone is on, and at any moment you can hit somebody up or like do something. Yeah. So I actually started turning my phone off like for a while.
That's smart.
Now I feel like, it's fine. But like, I don't know. Yeah.
I think that's smart because I mean, we just need to be able to rest. I think even like the blue light with screens is preventing people from getting good night's sleep nowadays.
Like, see you with your blue light glasses on.
Yeah, I got them on right now. The same ones as you.
That's right. I think I lost mine. I don't know what happened to them. I got to look for them.
Yeah. They're
somewhere.
Great. Listen.
Like, where's my glasses? Oh. I actually was working today. I was like, my eyes hurt.
Do you not have two pairs?
I do, but I don't know where they're at.
Oh, you don't know where either of them are?
No.
I have two pairs. You can borrow one of mine until you find yours.
Yeah.
You can borrow my other pair. But anyways, so yeah, I think like definitely just our minds are wired, like you said, with the dopamine and all that.
Yeah.
And then there's the matter of comparison. But what else? Do you think there's any other drawbacks or negative things about social
like we
media?
said, the lack of focus, and the one thing is, I want to say this, is that video said that focus is a skill, not something you are or are not. Like, I am always focused versus, she's never focused. Right. Like, focus is something you do. He also said creativity is something you do.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's not who you are. And so I think that gets thrown around a lot. Like, like, so-and-so's just never focused. Like, she's unable to, focus.
Yeah.
Like,
especially
that's
focus,
not who you are.
Right. Focus, but you mentioned creativity is not something who you are. It's something that you do.
It's a skill.
I get told all the time, "Oh, well, you're just so creative. That's
no,
why
it's a
you
skill
can do
that
it."
you've honed really
and I'm
well.
Like, I don't think I was born creative. Like, I wasn't just like, painting really well when I was like a kid or anything.
Yeah.
But I just decided like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to learn how to watercolor. It became like my passion. And
you're good at it now.
Now I can do it.
I just want to say how disrespectful the world can be.
It's true.
Like,
just totally disregarding of like actual work that goes into
that an artist does. I've had people approach me and be like, man, like, God has really gifted you. Like, when did you learn how to sing? Or like, how did it all happen? Like, I just like magically fell on me.
Yeah.
And
like you just woke up one day and knew how to sing.
Yeah. And I believe God gave me the ability. And I believe that it's like a dream that God gave me to do what I do. Yeah. But like, your girl had to practice a lot.
It takes
like,
hard work.
This didn't come from me just waking up one day and being like,
true.
The gift just fell upon me. Like,
right. And
I just like disrespectful, man.
It's a skill just like any athletic skill or any other skill. Yeah. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
Use it or lose it. Like if you don't practice singing, if you don't practice playing your instrument, if you don't practice painting or whatever creative thing you do, it's not going to just stay with you. So why do we make it feel like it's like, oh, you were just like creativity is inborn in me? Like it's not. Like I worked hard. Like I did not. All my friends in high school were artists and I could not draw. I was the one friend that was like hilariously bad at drawing. And now I'm like out here designing crazy stuff and designing book covers and album covers.
Casual plug for our book. She did the cover. Proud. Super proud.
Yeah. And like just doing stuff that I never imagined, like getting commissions from random people who are just like, hey, can you paint me this? I'll pay you. I'm like, yeah.
That's awesome.
You'll pay me.
Yeah, I'll paint whatever you want.
Right. Exactly. So, I think like the work that goes into it kind of gets ignored. But anyways, that's a random aside. You were talking about how focus is something you do.
Yeah, and it's something I want to get back to. I just feel like it's so easy to like flail around throughout the day. Yeah. And social media has not helped with that. But yeah, I think I want to be in control personally of social media versus like social media controlling me. And so that's just the mentality I have towards it. So I'm very disciplined with it. I'm not always perfect at that. Yeah. But Yeah, I think that's what, if you're struggling with social media and you don't know how to go about it. I think I see so many people I'm giving up Facebook today or Instagram today or TikTok today, and then I'll be back on in like 40 days, and then now I'm struggling again.
Right, but what really takes discipline is to use it regularly. And
with, an expectation and boundaries.
Exactly.
Knowing like what your boundaries are. Yeah. Like some people do have to delete it, and that's, I mean, that's you. Fine. That's your thing, like no judgment.
Yeah. I delete Instagram fairly often, and just for like 2 weeks at a time, just like, I don't need this, just taking a break.
It's
just how much time you get back.
I mean, for me, like, my brands are on it, so like it's just such a great opportunity. Yeah. Like you can reach, I think that's the beauty of social media too, though. You can reach anybody, almost anybody in the world that's on this thing.
That was not a thing before social media, really, unless you were on TV or something crazy like that. Like, how else are you going to reach people in, Africa and Brazil and like all these places where you're reaching people?
Yeah, I mean, I have listeners in France and like Japan. And,
on the podcast we get France listeners.
Yeah,
French listeners,
what's up, all my French people? We love you.
We don't speak French, but hey.
Parlez-vous français?
Yeah, I don't. Not me.
That's all I could say. I don't know, but yeah.
But anyways, so yeah, I think there's definitely pros and cons, and I just want to ask, like, if there's people who are watching this and they are struggling with social media, like they feel like it's taking a toll on them, what's some advice you would give them?
I mean, put it back into its rightful place. Like, I would say, first of all, have like a real conversation with yourself, like, and your perspective with it. If you feel like you're addicted, like, well, why? Like, what kind of void are you trying to fulfill or fill with this medium, this tool, And for me, like, when I was like really, I mean, in all honesty, like lonely in life, I was on social media all the time. And so for me, I was like, I got to get out and meet some more people and like change my ways.
Just be around real people. Not
and when I did, it just naturally dissipated, like this like addiction I had for whatever. So that's my advice. And, be gracious to yourself. Like, if you are addicted, which a lot of us are, right? Like, that's real. Addiction doesn't always end in a day. Like, so, yeah.
I think, I think about, like, the way that we drive, and one thing you have to remember when you're driving is, like, you control the car, not the other way around. And I've had to learn that because you've been with me when I've felt like the car controls me and I don't control the car, and I've been afraid. Like, when we were driving through New Mexico, and I was just like, I don't know if I can do it,
Were you driving my car?
Yeah. When you and I were driving through New Mexico, and I was all on edge, like, I don't know.
You drive this dang car.
Yeah, it's like, I'm driving the car, not the other way around. You kind of have to own it like that. I think it's the same with social media. Like, you have to learn how to own it, and it doesn't own you.
Yeah, that's life. Like, you got to learn how to own everything.
Yeah, and so don't let it, like, consume and control you. Just remember, you have the power to put it in its place. Like, if it's causing a problem for you, delete it and ask somebody to hold you accountable. Be like, hey, if you see me on Instagram, like, tell me to get off, because like that I shouldn't be on there, whatever it takes, because you can even set screen time limits on your phone, and
1 hour a day.
Exactly. So when the limit goes off, like, you just get off, and remember to just like stick to that. And I think it'll make a big difference when you start owning it and not just like letting it own you.
Yeah.
So
and I talked about this in one of our last podcasts. Like, you need to train your mind. Like, especially as a creative, we're so prone to getting just led astray by things that we see, because we love to see beauty and hear beauty. So if somebody does something that's amazing, we oftentimes just instantly compare ourselves. And that's what social media is full of, videos and pictures. And so, just train your mind, man. Like, grow strong mentally, and I think you'll be good.
Oh, yeah.
Like, train your mind with truths about who you are and what you're called to, and I think you'll be solid as a rock.
Absolutely.
I think that's it. What else do you want to say?
No, I don't got anything else.
Cool. Well, you're watching the Creatives Conversation. If you're new here, please subscribe. And if you are not new, we just want to say thank you for listening. And we will see you later. This is always a blast. And we're just going to bring you more guests, more conversations. And that's really it. Talk to you later. Bye y'all.